Whoa, so cold! This is one of the coldest weeks we have had so far. Good morning, by the way. It's been just super cold, bone chilling. It's a cold front that is going by, and it's gonna be gone in a few days, but it's been just super cold. I'm gonna make a word for it. It's dramatically cold. That's a combination of drastically and dramatically. It's dramatically cold. But anyways, today my main focus is gonna be on building a railing for the new deck, because I saw a ton of comments under my last video of people worried about me falling to my death down there, which now that I come to think about it, it's quite possible, because if I slip and fall when this deck is wet, I'm definitely gonna be landing somewhere over there, and I'm not gonna take any risks. Also, Raj, he's just a little cat. I don't want him to also fall down there chasing a butterfly or something, because most of the times he's not aware of his surroundings. Right, Raj? Laser level for more accuracy. No bueno. So, it says over here that that line is exactly at
Going in and out, those revolving doors, it blows me away. Take me away.
Cocodrilo feroz.
My body about
Oye,
in an ocean of who I am, who I am destined to be, who I will
yeah, this is heavy.
light me up, giant star, put your heat on me. This is all that I can take.
Careful, Raj. Watch out.
Giant star, put your heat on me. And I wanna be.
And this is a point where I realized that I'm gonna be short in materials. Oh no! I only bought one of those beams, that's 20 feet, and I need 20 feet for a horizontal top over here, but I also need about at least 3 or 4 vertical poles, which have to be at least 40 inches. And guess what? Guess who didn't buy enough material for that? This guy over here. So I'm gonna have to run real quick to a hardware store and get another of these beams, probably a little bit thinner than that one. That was a short trip to a hardware store, and now the rain is more manageable. There's only a few drops falling, so I can work out here. I'm gonna use the front deck, this one over here, to work cutting all the metal and all the pieces that I need. I'm gonna need to cut first 4 pieces of this one of 2 by 3 inches by 1/8 of an inch thick. This is gonna be the vertical poles, which are gonna be holding this whole beam, which is gonna go horizontally on top of them. So I need to get started into cutting and assembling all this structure together right away. I don't know if my helper today is really helping me or just messing around, but it's just good having him around, just making me company. Doing this while it's super windy makes it so kind of dangerous, but at the same time also exciting. I've got the main support on place. I'm gonna use these two corner ones as a guide, and I'm just gonna lay the horizontal beam on top so I can keep a straight line on that entire railing. This is the beam that has to go in there. It's already halfway in the house, and I have to say that this thing is extremely heavy, so I'm really nervous about how this is gonna go, because I gotta hold it with all my might and weld it on place at the same time. So we will see how this goes. I'll probably just try to tie it with something, but I don't think I got something strong enough to hold that beam in place. So we just gotta put it there and pray that the wind doesn't blow it away, because that would be tragic. Because down there, that's where all my water tanks are, all my connections for the water lines for the house. That's where everything is, and if that beam falls down there, I'm gonna have to spend a good half of the day or probably all night fixing all the pipes. But we gotta hope for the best. Oh, I got it. What did I do? Found out the problem. This metal beam is advertised as 20 feet long, but when you actually measure it, it's only 19 feet long. So I made the spacing for 20 feet, and now that I go to place the beam on top, I'm 1 foot short. So I'm just gonna have to cut one of these main supports, just place it a little closer. I mean, I could also, but I don't have any more of this beam. problem. Attempt number 2 kind of worked. I got a metal beam up here. I don't know if you can see, but there is already some sort of railing in there. At least it's gonna hold me from falling down to that over there. So this is gonna stay in place. I just stacked it. It's very well held together, so hopefully the wind is not gonna blow it away. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I ended up having to add some extra pieces of metal right under here and just tagging and welding this stuff in there, so that's gonna hold it, because the beam was not long enough, and having to go to a hardware store is gonna take me time, and also I'll have to buy an entire beam only to take 1 foot, which is what I'm missing to connect that one, just make it the 20 feet long that I need. So I just made it work. In a way, I just made it work, and that's gonna be wrapped in wood all around. It's gonna be first painted, perfectly painted, rust proof paint, and then I can cover it up with the wood, just wrap it around. But it's a lot of work, and I need to take a break right now, because I need to figure out how am I gonna do this in a way that it's gonna work perfect. It is plumbing day, and this time I have made sure I get all the connectors and extra of them, so I don't have to do a trip back to the hardware store. I need to change my filters, because right now all my filters are clogged. Since we're using the water from the creek, all my filters kind of get clogged super fast, and right now my water pressure in the house is super low, which means I gotta fix that. No, this is a problem that I have had for a while. I always have it every year, every time that we connect to the creek that is down there in the jungle, and the water runs to the tanks, and then all that is connected to this water system over here and all the filters. So the problem here is that my filters are way too small. You see those filters over there? These are my current filters, and this is carbon filter, that is carbon filter, this is a sediment filter. That's a system that I have right now. I had this previous system all hooked up, but I had to take it out of the main water connections, because this one was working fine, but the other filters, the carbon filters, are way too small, and that is clogging the entire system. So the water pressure that I'm getting right now inside of the house is very low, even though the pump is working fine, even though the main filter is working fine. The little ones are the problem that are getting clogged. So I'm swapping those little ones for these big ones now, and just letting it work. I'm sure that it's gonna work super fine. Even my water heater is having problems because it's not getting enough pressure, so it's barely heating up, and I'm showering with cold water, which during this time of the year when it's super cold, it's a little bit frustrating. Rog, you are not a cow. Stop eating the plants. First of all, we need to close this. Yeah, I already know that it's gonna be messy. I already know. Oh yeah, look at how nasty this is. This one as well. I didn't want to cut, because cutting it makes it so much more difficult, but the only way that I have to get those filters out is by using the pipe cutter. Can get in there. Get in there. Okay, this is a sediment and carbon filter. Remember when I said that I had everything for doing the plumbing job? Well, I will go ahead and take that back. I didn't want to do another trip to the hardware store. Why is it such a curse that every time I'm doing plumbing, I always have to do extra trips to the hardware store? Why? It's like It's one of those things that just comes together. Plumbing and trips to the hardware store. It's just I need some extra pipes for the connectors to kind of fill up the gap from the other filters that were in there, and I need this kind of pipe. This is a 1-inch pipe. I'm gonna need about 6 inches, just like this much. This is how much I need to be able to connect all these filters together, and the problem is that I don't have any. Okay, yay! I think that was about it. Filters are connected. I just realized that these ones are crooked. Actually, no, they're good. No, the camera is crooked. Sorry. This is a fast drying glue, so it should be ready in no time. And then I can turn back my system on. Hopefully the pressure is already fine everywhere in the house. I have to say that the shower was the worst part, because the heater, water heater over here, it requires certain amount of pressure, and I was not having that, so the hot water was not working. It was barely working. It would take like 5 minutes in order for it to come out, but after fixing this, it should be all good again. Let's see if this is working. Yes! Look at that pressure. Let's go! Woo! Now the sink. Yep, that is perfect. And there's the air coming out. Kitchen sink. Oh. Huh. Okay, something's going on. Huh. It's interesting because I'm not getting enough pressure over here on the kitchen sink. It's because I got the... Huh. Hey Rod, is the water working? Roger, is the hot water working? We're having a problem with the hot water, and I don't know if I messed it up when I was attaching the new filters, but the hot water is just not working. But anyways, I'm trying to figure out what it is. I've been fighting with it for about 30 minutes, and I can't just get this thing to work. I mean, I already took the water heater apart and nothing seems to work. I already swapped the propane. That was not the problem. Swapped the batteries of the water heater. That was also not the problem because it's not working. So I'm already running out of options. Last thing I'm gonna try is just swapping, or actually not swapping, just taking out the hoses, these hoses over here, because I know they got a filter inside, and sometimes when it gets clogged, it makes a pressure that goes in and comes out be really low, and that can make it so the hot water doesn't get triggered. So I'm gonna just try to fix that real quick, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to use a new water heater. Mr. Raj, we are not working on the balcony yet. We first need to fix the water heater. Calm down. Let's go. My helper is always getting distracted with everything, so he's not really helping me that much. Oh, this was full of dirt. Ugh. Oh yeah, this was so full of dirt. That could actually be the cause of it. That could be the cause of the problem. I just cleaned the filter for the water heater. It has these tiny little filters where it connects to the hoses, and that was just full of debris, so I cleared that out. And now I just have to open this thing over here. And the water should be running now. Come on, water heater. Do something. Come on! That is not working. Hot water for me is one of those things that is not really necessary, but it's just nice to have it, you know? And I already have the entire system for it. I got all the connectors, all the hot water pipes and everything else. And I know I could survive without hot water. That's not really that big of a deal for me, but just the fact that it is not working, it's really annoying me. So I'm not gonna rest until I get it fixed. Why it still have pressure if I... Oh, I did not turn this off. Kids, as I was saying, if you are ever doing some plumbing work, the first thing that you need to make sure is to turn off your main bulb, because otherwise you're gonna end up like me. Don't be like me. Don't. I just made a mess over here. Ay, ay, ay. This plumbing work, it's always messy. It's always messy. Oh. Okay, this water heater is done for. This is going to the trash. Well, I'm definitely retiring this water heater today. And I just have to say that it gave us its warmest years, but it's time for it to get some rest. Did you get that? That was a hot water joke. See, sometimes I'm funny, even though I'm not. I'm gonna end up sending it for repairs, but I don't really have any hopes on it working, so I'm just gonna save it. One thing that you should know about me, it's that I'm a bit of a prepper. I mean, the fact that I got a sleeping bag and I got a backup for my sleeping bag, the fact that I got a tent and then I have a backup for my tent, the fact that I have a sink in the bathroom, and I've also got a spare here for that sink, and I got propane tanks. I got 2 propane tanks, and I got a backup for each of them, and then I got a backup for the backup of those backups. So I got in total 5 propane tanks. That's what I'm trying to say. The point is that I'm a bit of a prepper, and I knew that this situation was gonna come someday. So ironically, just I think like 2 days ago, I was in a hardware store and I saw a water heater, and I was like, you know what? One thing that could break soon is a water heater. Maybe I should get a spare one. And ta-da! I literally just got this, and right on time. So I'm just gonna install this one where the older one was, and it should be all set up. I've got a water heater. I've got a water heater. Oh wow, this is fancy. Oh la la. Propano. Oh, I think I'm stuck right here. I just realized how funny that looks. Propano. We are gonna put some propano. Okay, that's all set. All connections are done. Just like that. Yay! All that is left to do is just plug in the connector over here, and it's already hooked to the propane, it's already hooked to the water, so all I gotta do is connect it over here, and then the water is gonna be running. Hot water is gonna be running. Honestly, the other water here was always giving me problems. I had to turn on the water and let it just go for like 4 minutes, and then it was starting to get a little bit warm. But with this one, I shouldn't have any of those problems. Oh, it's kicking in. It's kicking in. I can feel it. It's kicking in. Woo! It's getting hot. Let's go. I think I'm also having a problem with my water pressure. When I calibrated my pump, I don't think I set it up for the right cutoff pressure, and it's not kicking on according to the needs of my water system. So it's kicking in a little late, probably like 20 psi, when it drops down to 20 psi, and I want it to kick in when it's like maybe 40 or 50 psi. I think I'm just gonna have it on the higher psi end, because I got water lines going to the laundry room, going to the bathroom in here, and also going to the kitchen, and I got one faucet outside. So sometimes when I have more than one open, the pressure lowers in the rest of the house, and sometimes I need to be using the laundry machine, and I need to be using the sink doing dishes, or I need to be showering and I need the laundry machine on, and the pressure drops down a lot. So I'm gonna set up that cutoff pressure to around 50, because right now I think it's at 20. I need to be adjusting this stuff over here, and as you can see, those springs, it's got this big spring over here and it's got a smaller one over there. So the big one, it's the overall pressure, so that one will go, if I adjust this one, that one will go to like 75 or 70 psi, and then this one, the little one, that's the one that I need to adjust right now. That's gonna just reduce that gap when it turns on and when it turns off. Right now the gap is pretty wide. I think it's like 30 psi difference, and I wanted to set it to like 10 or 15 psi difference. So I just need to adjust that. It's not turning on anymore. It's not turning on anymore, so I might have just fried the pump. Don't tell me that I fried the pump. Ah, that's gonna be sad. No, this is sad. I think I just fried my pump. This thing is not turning on anymore. Ay, ay, ay. I don't have a spare pump. I do not have a spare pump, and I might have just fried this one. This is what happens when you when you live on a mountain and your whole system relies on a water pump. Your whole water system for the house relies on a water pump. If that pump breaks, you're done for. So I think that's where I am right now. Probably gonna have to get a brand new pump, which is gonna set me back a few $100. I already spent the money, the budget. Oh, what? It turned back on. Oh, I was about to cry. Whew. That was a close one. After the entire morning of fighting with his water system, I think I have gotten to a point where I have it almost dialed in. Water heater is installed. Whoa, that's a lot of pressure. Also, I'm not wasting the water. I'm not sending it to the faucet outside anymore. What I'm doing is just sending it straight to Jordan's tank up in their house. We have this system where we have this pipe over here which can send water from here to there, and I can also adapt it to send water from there to here. We have it this way because sometimes it's easier to bring the water from the water spring to my water tanks and just send it through my pump, which will add extra pressure, and send it all the way to the workshop. I'm just releasing some pressure right now. That way we don't waste any water. That's the thing, because on summer or dry season over here, water, it's our main priority. We have really little rains, and our water relies mostly on rainwater collection. And during the dry season, our main source of water is a water spring, which is the reason why we have all these pipes set up this way. So I just sent some water over there. I released some pressure from my pump. Now I have to turn it on. See? All right, it goes on right at 50 psi. Let's see where it turns off. 57. Let's go. You guys have no idea how good just hearing that thing turn off exactly at the point where I want it is. It's 57, it's not 60, but I'm completely fine with it. 50 to 60 psi, that's exactly where I need my water system to be. My pipes can withstand up to I think 100, 140, so I got no problems with that. But that means that my entire system now is working with way more pressure, meaning that I can use the kitchen faucet, the shower, the sink in the bathroom, and the laundry at once. That feels really good. I spent 6 hours figuring this out and installing the water heater, but hey, it's part of the journey and we got it dialed in just right. The only thing that I have to do now is just set the temperature of my water heater. Right now I have it. Oh my god, this thing is digital? This thing is digital? What? Let's go! That was a crazy morning, crazy way to start the day. What should have been just installing a water heater turned into a updating the entire water system of the house. Actually, not updating it, but setting it up right. And now we got it. Now I can continue working on my railing for the deck. I wasn't expecting today to turn such a windy and rainy day, but what I want to show you is that you see that little piece of metal sticking out of that side? Oh, it's so windy. I think it's better if I show it from this side. Oh, it's something that I was not planning for, and I did not immediately realize when I welded these metal pieces in. This one is sticking out of the roof, and when you are over there, you can just see this corner of metal sticking out of the roof, and that's not nice. I don't like that, so I'm just gonna cut that thing and do it again and do it better this time. I think we can call this operation a partial success, and the reason for it being a partial success is because I only got the structure in here. This is already all welded in, strong as a horse, it's not going anywhere, but I have to wrap it up in wood. I got some of the wood already that I just need to prepare, but it's getting late. It's already like 6 o'clock, 6:30. It's about to get dark soon, so instead of continuing working out there, I'm just gonna move in here and try to get a little bit of this drywall work done. Whew, I don't even want to look at it. It's so much. It's so much missing. I feel like I do a little bit and I barely see some progress, so I get overwhelmed, which is a thing that I always get overwhelmed when I see things that I have to do, and I start thinking about, I gotta do it, I have to do it, but I don't want to do that, but I have to do it. So in the end, I get overwhelmed and end up doing something completely different, like building a balcony or a railing, so I can avoid doing drywall. I just have to say that for some reason Raj is mesmerized by the drywall thing that I put in there. Are you secretly inhaling the drywall? Don't do that, bud. That's not good for you. He always makes me company when I stay up working late. He's always there with me. But for now, this is all we got. Just a little bit of drywall we get in this corner. I got a big bump in here, which the wall was kind of bumped a little bit in. So I had to put a lot of drywall mud in there to kind of like make sure that I was completely flat and straight. So the sanding is gonna be definitely a challenge. I probably have to get a big sanding block and just use one of the full big papers in order to get it completely straight. But I will not worry about that now because that's a problem for Rodrigo from the future. My main goal for today was just to get this wall completely done, and I did most of it already. Just need to let it dry, do a few more coats. I cannot even talk anymore. I got so much dust from drywall. Tastes horrible, by the way. But anyways, you guys, we're calling it here. I really wished I would have gotten more stuff done because I really wanted to get that railing up and running with all the wood wrapped around it, but sadly we had some unforeseen details, some unforeseen events like calibrating the pump, getting the water heater up and running, changing filters and all that. All those were the things that were not in the plans for today, but they ended up happening, which is the day-to-day of living on a mountain and trying to be self-sustainable with the things that we have in here. So every once in a while we get those bumps in the road that we just gotta take care of. And thanks to that, I couldn't finish my railing on time, but that's all right. We at least got a little bit of drywall done and we got the main structure up. But anyways, you guys, we're leaving this one over here. Love you so much. Thanks for your support. And I'm sorry. I know I said I wanted to do 2 videos a week, and I tried my best, but it's hard. It's really, really hard, especially because I think I'm going through a mid-20s crisis right now. I don't even know. My head is going 200 miles an hour, and my body can only go 100 miles an hour. And then I get overwhelmed with many thoughts in my head that I want to do, but then I don't end up doing all of them. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just like all the time. But anyways, it's gonna be alright. We're gonna get stuff done. Raj, stop inhaling the drywall. Come on, let's go down. This little cat. What was that? Say bye-bye. Love you. He's not friendly right now.